welcome back to my channel. I'm just sitting here with my Step Pace planner, which was actually a gift from a friend. I'm not working at the moment, and so I wasn't sure how much I would have to put in the planner, but it turns out, you know, going through cancer treatment still, I have plenty of appointments and things to log, so loving the planner. If you're new here, I'm Corinne, I'm 35. Last year I was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer, and almost 7 weeks ago now, I had a double mastectomy. And today I am off to have immunotherapy. So I still have, I think it's 5 more rounds of immunotherapy. Could be 6, but I think it's 5 more rounds of immunotherapy to go. And so today's quite a busy day in terms of appointments up at the hospital because I need to see the hospital PT first. I saw her a couple of weeks ago, but the machine that I stand on and it takes all your measurements and things, that wasn't working. So I'm popping in to see her really quickly, jump on that machine. Then I'm headed to my immunotherapy. I'll have that. And then I have an appointment with my oncologist as well. I'm hoping to hear a definitive answer on whether I need to have radiation or not. So I've had the double mastectomy with a flat closure, but I did find out that I have a BRCA2 mutation. So waiting to hear what the plan is. Last time I saw him, he was going off to talk to the interdisciplinary team and get a full picture on what was best practice. And then I think he's letting me know today. So fingers crossed we get that information. If I need to do it, I have to go 3 hours away, and then it's 3 weeks of radiation every weekday. So 5 days a week. So you only go in in the morning, it's a 15-minute thing, but it's every day and it's 3 hours away. So I really, really want to know if that's happening or not. I'm fine with it either way. If the team of experts have decided I don't need it, then I'm quite happy with that. If they think that it would be beneficial, more than happy to do it, just for that extra reassurance that we've thrown everything we can at it. But I'd like to know, because I'd like to be able to just plan ahead a little bit, work out when I might be going back to work, just, know what's happening in my life. I also don't have my car today. I went over to my parents yesterday and got there and took my bag and my dog into their house and then went back out to the car because I had made mum a birthday cake. And so I went back out to get that. And as I went out, there's plumes of smoke billowing out of the bonnet of my car. So I'm not driving it. I called the mechanics this morning and they've booked it in for Wednesday. So hopefully we'll have some answers on Wednesday as to what's actually going on with it. But right now, not driving that. Thankfully, mum's lending me her car today so I can drive the 30 minutes to the hospital to be able to have treatment. Mum usually does come with me, but because I have so many appointments up there today, it's just a very long time and a lot of sitting and waiting. And now that I'm just doing immunotherapy without the chemotherapy, it's not as taxing on my body and I don't feel unwell after it so much or as exhausted. And I'm not taking a whole heap of other medications like I was when I was doing the chemo too. So this will be the first infusion appointment that I am taking myself to, which is kind of nice to be able to do that. Don't get me wrong, I love having mum take me to them or dad or my sister or whoever, but it's nice in the sense that it's nice that I feel well enough to be able to do that. So that's what's happening. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a weekly vlog. I haven't weekly vlogged for a while. So keep your fingers crossed that I actually remember to pick this camera up and show you what's happening in my life. If I remember to pick the camera up, then welcome to my week. Okay, I have decided it's a momentous day, and after months of wearing turbans and wigs and fluffy hats and whatever I could to cover the not quite bald, fuzzy, growing back, not quite properly growing back hair, we're going wigless. We're just gonna rock whatever this is. It's time to own it. So I did jump on Temu and I got 4 headbands. This one I think just goes best because my outfit's pretty busy, but it's just a cream. It's got a little bow on top, nice wide headband. I have absolutely been experimenting with these at home since I got them. I just haven't been brave enough to wear it out. So I just kind of push it back like that. And then it's so short. The headband's really not gonna hold it back. So I just went to Woolies, just to the supermarket, and got this little wax stick. Slickhair Wax Stick, styling hair wax for flyaways and edges, extra hold. So then I just take this, and it's literally just a stick of wax, and I think Did I just feel that pop out? Yeah, so these little flyaways just pop out. So I just move my headband out of the way and I get this and I push it all back. Slick it back just to hold it in place. Just so that it looks intentional, like I've done my hair, like I wanted to have short hair. Today's the day we're going au natural in public. I've just jumped into Mum's car and I'm about to drive to the hospital, and I realized I haven't put my EMLA patch on yet, which is the patch to numb my port. All right, stick that on there. That'll be nice and numb by the time we're ready to do a little immunotherapy. Okay, immunotherapy is done. Tick. Saw the PT. That was great. I literally just had to jump on the machine that was broken last time and get my measurements done. She was really happy with it. Apparently I'm in like the top 10% of people, and there's no fluid building up in my arms or anything like that, which is excellent news. Did my immunotherapy, simple, easy, straightforward. Then saw my oncologist. It worked out perfectly. My immunotherapy literally finished and I was walking out to the waiting room to go and sit and wait for my appointment. I was running about 20 minutes late and the oncologist walked out as I got there. And so I'm walking this way and then he went, "Corinne?" And I was like, "Oh, that's me." Perfect timing. He was really happy. My levels are all looking good for my blood tests, and he has confirmed that I do not need radiation and I do not need to go on any other kind of medication he was thinking might be a possibility because my surgery went so well. They're so happy with my results. So I've literally just got this immunotherapy every 3 weeks until August, and then we are donezo with active treatment. Best news. Very happy about that. So yeah, I'm gonna go get something to eat and head back to Mum and Dad's, grab Mason, and yeah, feeling good. Feeling very good, which is a nice feeling when I've just walked out of the hospital. It's not the most common way that I feel when I just leave the hospital. Okay, I've just stopped at Macca's. Got myself a little coffee frappe, which is not something I usually get, so this is my little celebration for not having to do radiation and actually genuinely for the first time being so close to being done with treatment. I'm feeling a bit tired, a bit like groggy, a little bit like hazy, and that Macca's just hit me in here. A little bit of that indigestion, heartburn feeling. So I think the plan is to just put on some mindless reality TV. I'm working my way through Selling the City at the moment, which is not amazing. This is not a recommendation. Definitely not as good as like Selling Sunset or even like Selling the OC. But that's what I'm watching. So I think I'm just gonna chuck that on where I don't have to think, lay down on the couch and take it easy.
You better get it going, get going tonight.
All right, it's time for some dinner. I'm feeling pretty good. I just feel tired. I think that's all. I think I just, don't have a lot of energy. And so just laying on the couch is the perfect activity for the rest of today, or it's after 6, so night, I guess. But I'm going to keep it super ridiculously easy for dinner. I also don't want to eat anything too much or too rich, I guess, or like too oily, or so I was going to have, I've got some calamari rings that I was going to throw in the air fryer, but I'm not feeling like that after the kind of heartburn indigestion feeling I had after the McDonald's. So I have a heap of Asian salad that I was going to have, which is just like a Woolworths like mix. I made that last night, so it's already mixed up and everything. I'm just going to throw it in a bowl and I'm just going to have it with some tuna and just keep it super duper simple. All I have to do is put them both in a bowl. Couldn't be easier. Good morning. I feel good. Like I don't feel unwell and I don't feel like anything's wrong. I just feel, I guess it's a little bit of like that fatigue feeling. It's kind of hard to articulate, but if I compared it to getting up yesterday or like for the last week, I probably had a little bit more energy, a little bit more motivation and feeling to like get going and start my day. And this morning feels very, we'll just ease into things, which is fine. If that's, my biggest side effect of having immunotherapy, that's totally fine by me. Let's get this breakfast going. I'm going to whip myself up a protein bagel with eggs and smoked salmon. Looks so good. I chucked some sauerkraut on it as well. I try to eat like a sauerkraut or a kimchi or some kind of fermented food most days for the like gut health benefits. And yeah, with eggs is one of my favorite ways to do that. So,
Straight to the bucket list. You need to get all the things done. There's no time for sleep.
So I've just been filming my wardrobe clean out video, which, fingers crossed. What is this little bit of hair doing? Whatever. Hopefully the flat fashion cleaning up my wardrobe video is the one before this. But it's really hot. I'm sweaty. That's kind of the most activity. I know it sounds silly. I'm just trying on clothes in my wardrobe, but I walk and it's activity. It actually, the steps actually add up from it, which is crazy. But yeah, it's not made me feel great, which is fine. That's probably pretty on point with the fatigue and everything. So I'm going to watch probably the latest episode of Below Deck Down Under and chill out on the couch for a while, because that's the best I can do this afternoon. I spent quite a bit of time at mum and dad's. Mum made me some lunch, had a delicious egg lettuce sandwich, and we played some cards and yeah, had coffee, and yeah, so it's been a pretty chill day. But I'm going to listen to my body saying, hey, you're doing too much, and I'm going to go hang out on the couch.
Away, fulfill our dreams today. We all need to go. Move ahead and get going today.
Guys, we're back in my own car. Had it into the mechanic today. He couldn't find anything really serious, which was excellent. It looks like there might be like a tiny little oil leak kind of starting, and he does want to do some work on that, but not until after Easter. So I've got my car back and I'm free to drive it around, which is fabulous. And yeah, because of that, it's been a very, very nothing day. I've been at mum and dad's house since 8:30 this morning because I needed to drive mum's car back over there so then we could take my car into the mechanic and she could pick me up. And so yes, just been doing nothing, just been chilling out with the dogs, hanging out at mum and dad's house all day. And it's now 2:30 and yeah, we're finally coming home. So yeah, good news about the car. It's not going to suddenly blow up on me, which was my biggest fear. It is time to prep some dinner. Thankfully tonight that is super quick and easy because it's mostly leftovers. So last night I made, well, it's a stuffed sweet potato recipe, but I didn't stuff a sweet potato. I kind of adapted the recipe to be my own thing. So instead of baking this and stuffing it, I'm chopping it into cubes and I'm going to chuck it in the air fryer for, I think it was 25 minutes, but I pulled it out early, so it's probably more like 20 minutes at 200 in the air fryer. I literally just used the chip setting on my air fryer and let it cook like that. So I'll have the sweet potato cubes and then I will, after they're cooked in the air fryer, I'll put them on a baking tray. And then I had also air fried, because I love air frying, chicken. So I had air fried chicken breast, and then I took that chicken breast and I shredded it when it came out of the air fryer. Then I put it in a fry pan and I just put a tiny bit of water in there, and I used a Mingle seasoning packet, their fajita mix. So I put that and just cooked that through the shredded chicken. So then I had the sweet potato cubes on the baking tray, the shredded chicken with the fajita mix through it, and then a layer of mozzarella cheese and then I baked that until the cheese went melty and brown. And then I topped that with green onion, and I got Greek yogurt and the garlic mingle seasoning and put that through the Greek yogurt to make a sauce, and then drizzled that over the top. And it was absolutely delicious. And so I am thrilled that I am having that again for dinner tonight. The only thing I need to do, cook the sweet potato in the air fryer, and then I'll assemble it all and brown it up in the oven. Yummo. The other thing that I've just started thinking about food-wise is that I am going to my first ever book club. Mason's having a drink. You can probably hear that slurping. I'm going to my first ever book club. It's a group of local women who started a book club via Instagram. So I know one of the women that have joined quite well because we work together. One of the other women that's in it was a parent of a kid that I taught. So like I've met her, but I really don't know her well. And then I don't think I know anyone else that's in this book club. So we're going around to one of the ladies' houses. Like I've never met this woman. Going around to her house for our first book club. Technically our first one got cancelled. We were meant to meet, we were meeting at a restaurant, but everybody had things going on and there was only 2 of us that could actually get there on that day, so it didn't happen. So we're doing like a potluck. Everybody bring a dish for this very first ever book club, and I'm just not sure what to make. I don't know. I think I want to make something that doesn't need to be heated, because I don't want to go to this stranger's house and be like, I just need to heat this, or, you know, I don't want it to be like a hassle. But then I also want to make something, you know, substantially that's a bit dinner-like. I don't want it to really be a snack, because we're doing this at 6:30 at night, so this will be like our dinner. So I don't know. If you have any like amazing potluck recipes that everybody loves, please put them in the comments, because I know I won't see them in time for this book club, but we will have more book clubs in the future, hopefully. I'm assuming it's going to go well. And yeah, I'd love some inspiration. What do you cook when you're cooking for a group, but you're also not in your own house? So you've got to be able to transport it and take it with you and all those things. Inspire me. In we go. In we go. There you go, bud. Oh, oh my goodness. We just avoided getting caught in a downpour. It was so nice when we started walking, but I could see big clouds in the distance. And then, like, tiny little drops. I was like, oh, we're getting closer to home. And then just that little tiny last stretch on the way to home, it was like big, fat drops. So we've gotten home right in time, because apart from that last few little drops jumping on us, that was a beautiful after dinner walk. Exactly what I needed to end the day. I have just had a lovely morning out, catching up with a friend. We went for a nice long walk, stopped and had coffee and banana bread, watched the surf, and then walked back to my place. And it's been quite a warm morning again, but a little bit of cloud cover's just come over, a little bit of a breeze picked up, and it's meant to rain this afternoon and then a few thunderstorms later on. So I'm going to take Mason now, drive over to the beach and take him for a little bit of a waddle and a swim so that he gets out for the day. Then I need to run to the supermarket and pick up a few bits and pieces for the potluck tonight. I've decided to make a buffalo chicken dip. So I have this Mingle chicken bake, creamy buffalo chicken bake recipe base. And I'm kind of following the recipe on the back, not exactly. I'm using a different recipe that I found online that has the buffalo flavoring in it. So I'm going to use this chicken, cream cheese, mozzarella, green onions on top, and then I'm just going to get like carrot sticks, celery sticks, corn chips to dip in it. So need to go to the supermarket and grab a few things for that. It's definitely starting to look a little bit grey cloudy out there and the wind's picking up. You can see the blue skies right that way from this morning, and then this darker clouds are rolling in. So I think we picked the perfect window to get out with the dog.
Need to stop, move ahead and get going today. Don't wanna miss a thing at all.
Mason and I have been back home now for a little while, and I feel like I just perfectly timed things today. So we got out for our walk, and Mason got out for a swim, and then we've come back, and it is now raining. It's like really starting to come down out there. So I popped some chicken for the dish I'm making in the air fryer to cook. I'm going to cook it in there, and then I'm going to shred it, and then it'll get cooked again in the buffalo chicken dip thing I'm doing. And right now I'm just chopping up some carrot sticks and celery because you serve the buffalo chicken dip with crudité and corn chips. So just chopping up the celery now for that and popping it in a container to take to book club. And I can feel my watch coming off. I've just done 10,500 steps for the day, which is always nice to hit that little goal on my Fitbit. And it's always nice to get that much movement in when it then turns into a rainy day, and I will be spending the rest of the day on the couch. Once this is organised, I will be on the couch until it is time to go to book club. So it is our first book club meeting, but we've actually read 2 books because nobody could make it to our February meetup. So for our February book, our first book that we read in the book club was The Names by Florence Knapp. And I really enjoyed that. I chose to listen to that as an audiobook just because it was much easier to get my hands on the audiobook than a physical book. I've actually got it reserved at the library for mum to read, but it still hasn't come in yet. It's quite popular. And then the book for March was actually my suggestion. So what we do is that anybody can suggest, they chuck it into a randomizer, and the 2 that come out of the randomizer we then vote on. So my recommendation was the God of the Woods. Now, if you're a Swiftie, you might have heard of that one. It was the audio book that Taylor was listening to in her documentary series. So it was already popular, but then once it was featured on that, it kind of took off a bit. And that was where I heard of it. But then I heard really good reviews. So that was my suggestion. It worked out really well for me too because I had already reserved it from the library. So it came in, and then like a week later, we picked it as the book of the month. So I got to read the physical book, and I really enjoyed it. It was kind of like a whodunit sort of thing. It was set a little bit in the past, and it did have different time frames with the characters' stories, and it was set at a summer camp, which I think was the thing that really drew me into the story, because I did go and do an American summer camp when I finished uni. So I could really, like, I was reading this book and I was visualizing the camp I went to. It was so similar. I even looked up where the author had gone to camp because I was like, it's like this person is describing the camp I went to. They weren't the same camps, but very similar. So I really related to that side of the story, being able to really visualize the description and the setting and how somebody could go missing in that kind of setting and what the counselors would be doing, and yeah, all of that. So I really enjoyed it. So I'm keen to hear what people thought of it and discuss it at the book club tonight. I'm just about to leave for book club. The buffalo dip's having its last little seconds in the oven. I've just gotten changed, threw on a headband. I've got my bag packed with my corn chips and my carrot and celery. Ooh, okay, that looks like it's about to burn. Let's get that out of the oven. This looks so good. So it's got like a nice cheesy layer on top, and then you've got the dip layer. It's cream cheese, sour cream, the buffalo mix, chicken, a little bit of green onion, a little bit of tomato paste. I'm gonna put green onions on top, wrap it up in some tea towels. I've got a towel in the insulated Woolies bag. Hopefully it stays warm, ready to serve when I get there. So I better get moving. Good morning. It's actually Saturday. We skipped a whole day. I did nothing yesterday, and it was fabulous. It was a miserable, rainy day. There was wild winds. It was full on, and I sat on the couch and watched TV all day. The plan had been to sit and watch TV all day. And then my dad and I were meant to be going to see a band play. I had got him tickets for, I can't remember if it was Christmas or his birthday, one of the two. And this bluegrass, instrumental, folky duo were meant to be coming to our local area. They were coming to a town, a tiny little town about an hour away from us. And so I'd grabbed Dad some tickets because he loves that kind of music and he's a fan of this band. So I was like, perfect, it's this rainy, miserable day. I'm gonna just lay on the couch and do nothing. And then we're going to that tonight. I ran to the supermarket. I did get us some things to take, snacks for us to eat for like dinner. And I had not long got home from doing that and got a message. It was like just before 1 p.m, I think, that they'd had to cancel because of the wild weather. There were like trees down, it was windy, and then the little town that they were playing in and like a whole area around it lost power. Yeah, once I found out I wasn't going to be doing that, I really leaned into my do nothing day. And I watched a lot of The Pit. Like, I think I was only a couple of episodes in and I finished the first series yesterday and I loved it. That show is great. Right now, I've just sat down. I've got myself a little coffee. I'm wearing my new jersey in the brown and the buttery yellow. This is from the Self Styler, which is a brand that I only got introduced to recently. And this thing is so soft and cozy. I'm trying to be really intentional this year with the fashion purchases I make to buy things that are a little better quality. It does mean they cost a little bit more, but they just, yeah, fit better, nicer material, and then with the intention that they last longer than the cheap clothes that I usually buy, and that I'm not, you know, doing that fast fashion, just over consuming clothes. So this is a beautiful piece that I am loving. I'm actually going to leave you here because right now I'm at the kitchen table. I have my laptop and I need to get my wardrobe clean out video. Speaking of fashion, I need to get that video up and out. So I'm going to be in this little editing bubble for quite a while. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I really, really genuinely appreciate every single one of you for being here. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like and please consider subscribing to my channel. It really, really helps me out and helps other awesome people like you find my content. Until next time, see you later, guys.